Hi, it's Simon and welcome to Notion Life OS, and this is your onboarding video. Thank you so much for downloading the template. Today, I've got a whole kind of pre-made setup to show you everything you need to know about getting started with my kind of big major template that helps you organize your entire life in one place. And it's worth saying that if you want to know, this will work for the standard Notion Life OS and the complete bundle that includes the creative and client OS, but that section will leave for a separate video for those that have the bundle. Everything else is the same and you're going to be good to go. So I'm going to talk you through how to get onboarded with this, show you all of the features, and really, I hope, in a step-by-step video, simplify how easy it is to get to know this and use it. I've done a lot of work on this template over the years, and I think this is the one that makes life so much easier. First off, there is a template guide that you've probably clicked on and therefore found this video, but you can always click on that, and whenever you need to, you'll be then able to jump to it and find any other details within here, which include these nice demo GIFs. So if you ever want to jump back, you can see a little GIF that shows you some of the stuff we're going to talk through in this video. But first of all, let's talk about some of the headlines of how to get started with this. I would say, first of all, use what is useful in this template and ignore the rest. This is a big Notion template. I've tried to design it so that the features work for the majority of people, but there'll be things in there you don't want and things in there that you do. And the idea of a template is you adapt it to your needs. Secondly, I've taken a new approach to navigation and getting onboarded in this from the previous versions. So if you are an existing user, this is going to be useful for you to get started and see the new features. And thirdly, if you are an existing user moving across to this template, sadly, this is still the nature of Notion templates that we have to duplicate an entire new one into your system, and you have to consider how you move your data across. I would not recommend merging databases from the old one into this or shifting data. I personally would say this is an opportunity for a spring clean. I would set up and copy across your top level stuff like areas, projects, goals, and then to those you can then link other information. If you do want to essentially add the new features, particularly all the new trackers, workout trackers, all of that, I do have a pack for all those trackers. So you could keep things like your knowledge and notes and then update it, but it's a lot of work. I've tried in the past to create guides to kind of link stuff into the knowledge base from a previous version, but I think it's just about spring cleaning and starting clean and maybe linking to the old databases as an archive if you need to. With that out of the way, let's talk about, first of all, what's in the template, and let's jump into the first part, which is navigating. So, first of all, we have 3 ways to navigate the template, really. This here is your main menu, and there's a copy of this in every page that shows you all of the key dashboards. You can also see the major views here. And each one of these you can either click through to. So if I click through to projects, you'll see a project board. There's the navigation. And the quickest way to jump around, I think, is to jump straight back home. And then you can go to each thing as you want to go to it and jump home again. You can also see kind of reduced essential views of each dashboard on this homepage, and you can open it up and view what you need to view. Now, the reason this is here is that on mobile, this looks so much better. When you look at Notion Life OS on the mobile device, when you scroll down, you can then simply just click through 2 items really easily and use the button, it's very hard to do on the camera, to jump back. So this just makes life a lot easier on mobile, and I would recommend always using that main menu to use it on mobile. Finally, it's worth knowing that every single dashboard, all of the database views you see there are linked views. So if you want to delete or edit or add different things to different places as you play with this and want to adapt it, it's easy to do that. You can just either duplicate one of these, but ideally you add a little plus button, pick any of the options, click link database, go to whatever that database is, and you'll see all of the source builds with the main database within this list. So I could just add my, say, project inbox there, and it would drop the pre-built item in. So that's a useful thing to know. I'm telling you that because if we go back home, it means that you can kind of mess around with this and not worry too much if you do want to adapt it to your needs. Down the bottom though, you will see system. And here you'll see all the original pages that these are linked to. These are all the dashboard views. And you'll see also there's like the financial dashboard views, the meal planner. That's new, very exciting. And this is the danger zone, master databases. So if you click into master databases, here you will see the original databases where I built everything. This is what you do not want to delete. Everything else could be replaced if you wanted to. But this is also a very good place, for example, to clear out any sampled data if you don't want it in there. So for example, if I want to clear out the days database, I can select everything and delete things. And you can just look through, and if there's any tasks or anything in there that you don't want to see, you are able, for example, to click through here. I'm going to keep a couple that I want to keep for demo purposes. And let's now delete those. And this just allows you to start really clean if that's what you would like. But for the most part, you should be good to go. So that is the navigation of the template. Let me give you a quick overview of what is included. We have it in sections. If you open up the main menu, this is where you can also on any page find the guide to link to. But you can kind of see I've divided it into different areas. We have planning, so kind of things like goals, years, overviews of information, the Power Dashboard we'll talk about later. Actioning, so that's like life areas, projects, tasks, things you've got to get done. And we also have a new portfolio website in there that you'll be able to publish if you want to. And capturing, this is where you're going to keep knowledge. So dashboards for journaling, notebooks, notes, all of that. And then tracking, budgets, habit trackers, workouts, meals, and all the rest. And a new perspectives view, which is really if you pay for a Notion account or have an education account, you're able to use all of the views for the new charts feature in Notion. If you don't pay for your account or have an education account, you would have to upgrade to see more than one chart within this system. Just be aware of that. But I've included it, so if you want to pay Notion, you can use them. All right, next, I'd like to get you onboarded into the system, and I would propose the best way to start with that is with your life areas, because these are the top level database from which you can view everything. I've done a lot of work on this to make it really accessible and easy to use. And you'll see I have a set of existing life areas that I think everyone potentially would want to keep. I do have content creation in there for you content creators, but that's probably the only one you might not care about. There's also a top of mind view, and this view is really a filtered view that allows you to link anything to it, like tasks and projects, goals, that you want to keep top, front and center when you're working. So that's just one to keep an eye on from there. So we'll jump back into the life areas view. So I would propose the first thing you want to do is add any further life areas that you might want to add here. To do that, you can just click new life area and drop anything extra in. So that might be pets, for example, and shut it up and it's kind of done. It'll be in there so you can use it. If you want to go and jump into the goals and yearly planning area, you'll also see within the wider part of getting onboarded, you could take a little look at the first stage and build your wheel of life. Now, this is a set of focuses in your life which show up on this view here if you have charts, and it's related to the existing life areas that we've created. This allows you to go through and say, how are things at the moment in my life? So family and friends, I think it's an 8, and then you're able to see the wheel of life adjust. There is also a view that's like that if you want to look at it, and as you change it, it will update and show you what's going on. But also it can just allow you to sort by what's working and then prioritize the things that you want to focus on for the year. But at this stage, just get your life areas set up. We'll go back to life areas, and within each one, I would like you to drop some basic goals. Now, I think goals potentially are top level things, and you don't have to go too far with this. So let's go into career and business. We can, at the top here, add related goals. So I'm going to open up the view where you'll be able to see the things that are related. Let's add a related goal. I've got an example one in there. So let's say under career and business, I think you can write goals as if they are something that have been achieved. And you could use the button as well to do it like this, new goal. And let's go, I'm proud of it, for example. Yeah. We could just leave it at that for now, or you could start adding tasks or projects to act as milestones and relate back to that goal. But for now, let's just drop goals in to our life areas. So that's my career and business, say. I can then go back to life areas. I want to do a goal for health and fitness, and I'm going to add a new goal here. And I'm going to make this new goal. Yeah. I didn't do this on the last one, but remember to link it to the year so that you always know that it will report back into your year reports. And you can number your goals. So we could make this goal number 2, for example. We can go back to life areas. I'm just going to update the career and business one and make sure that this one is updated because I forgot to do it. Link that to 2024 and set that goal as goal 1. And you can add new ones in here. The reason we're doing that is that you will then see them report as a list for the year. Now, if you would like to make that even easier when you add goals, you can go in and edit the new goal template and just update that to be the current year. You just have to remember to change it next year, but I'm leaving it so it's not too confusing. So let's say you've added a bunch of new goals. You would then be able to just check in your goals area and see your goals listed like that. And I'm actually going to sort these because they're not sorted by goal number. There you go. That's the first level. The next thing you're going to need to do is start to do a brain dump. And a brain dump is to get, I think, fundamentally, all of your tasks and projects that are on your mind into this system so you can work with it. And there are 2 methods to do this. You can either do it where we were within the life areas section, and you can just jump back into there and start adding things. So I'm going to open up tasks and projects, and you can just keep dropping things in with these buttons. That is one route. So just drop tasks in. Now, if you add tasks directly, they will only be related to the life area. So for example, update portfolio, that might be a thing you want to do. And I would say at this stage, the only thing you need to worry about is maybe considering whether you want to label them with a priority. Are they urgent? Are they important? Are they both? Important only as deep work, so on and so forth. So let's just say that's important and urgent. You can add a due date. Currently, these will add the current day, or you can just not have a due date in there, which is nice, and can shut that up. And if you want to see all area tasks, you can just leave it like that. Move these around as you want. If you want to put tasks within a project, you could also create a new project, and we could call this Website Development 2024. And here you could either link the tasks that you've put in there or create new ones, and you would know that those would all link purely to the project. So you could open that up and add those. So there's a couple of ways to do it. And all this really just means is that you filter tasks and see them how you need to see them. That's option 1. So go through in each life area, smash out your tasks, and then potentially you can, like if you take maybe a view of like assigned to me, because you'll have added them, you could go through and link them to life areas and projects as you go within that look. So that's one option. Do it all within life areas. You then have your goals, your projects, and your tasks, and they all relate back to life areas, which means you can come to these home pages and just work on them as you go. We will worry about like notes and information later on. Option 2, and probably what I would prefer, would be to go back home and use what is called the quick drop inbox. So this, if we jump into the main menu of that, is a place with inboxes for tasks, projects, notes and references, but also we can just move this one up if we want to and do live goals. Okay. So what I would propose you do is with this is you can either just make a massive list of tasks and go think about them. Tasks 1, task 2, and then you could just literally drop them in and start to work on them there. Or you can just add them in with the button. New task, build shed. This is probably the way I would do it. New task. Yeah. And then if you think something is a project and has more things to do, you can click the project view, add new project, garden and shed build, for example. You can give your project a timeline if you want. I'm going to start it today and go to the end of the month. You can link it to the year and then shut it up and it sits in there. Anything that goes into this will essentially drop in the inbox, and then from here you can start to process these items. So you can go, let's say, build a shed. I want to link that to my garden shed project. I'm going to link that to build a house, my goal. Does it have a life area I want to link it to? This all just means you'll be able to see it in the filtered views. So that is going to be environment. You can add any due dates or deadlines or leave them. And then once you are happy with what you've created, you can also see them here in a report of them. You can just add them to the system and they will filter out of this inbox and be found in the rest of the system. So this is a really nice place to drop stuff because you can just put it all in and then add it to the system once you're happy with it. I'm going to make that one, let's make that one urgent. And I want to just link it to a life area so I can see it in there. And I'm going to give it a due date of Friday. You can move these around if you want to see things in different orders. You can give them a deadline or a due date. And then once you're happy with them, you can just kind of check all the information you need to see and add it to the system. And gradually you will clear your inbox as you go. Same with projects. Set up your projects, link things to the projects. Once you're happy, add them to the system. And this is, I think, the best way in this system to be able to do a quick brain dump of everything that you need to get into your system. It's also the place you would drop stuff on a daily basis and build the habit of clearing this each week maybe or every couple of days so that you have inbox zero and you can find everything. And once stuff is processed, you will be able to find items in various places. And we'll move on to this in a little bit. You can look at it in the tasks and action view where you will see stuff listed as linked to a date, the top of mind thing. You can see anything that is due for the dates. So we put something Friday, so that will probably come up here. There it is. And anything that doesn't have a date, you can view in the wider sections down here. So like all assigned to me, you'll see everything that you have dropped in there. You've also got a priority matrix view where you can view things by how you've prioritized them. So this view is to see everything. This view will filter stuff that has due dates. So you've got your life areas, you've got your goals added, and you've dropped all of your tasks and projects in a quick drop into the system. Next, we'll look at a bit more of a detailed view of how to use the task and project manager on a daily basis. And then I want to show you a few details of if you want to go a bit deeper with goal setting and how you can start to use the full-on goal setting and yearly planner system down here, where you're able to do a much more guided yearly reflection. It's also a great way to get started. So let's now move on to tasks and projects and the basics of processing and using the system to manage your tasks. Okay, so let me show you the essentials of the features in the tasks and project management system. I'm proud of some of these. They include a new system which allows us to time track and track the time spent on tasks, and also to really use this priority matrix to our advantage. A priority matrix essentially aligns urgency and importance. So here you can see I've got a little set of inboxed tasks that I want to work on to give Pepper, my cat, a cat flap. And I've created myself a project within here. Now, one way to do this would be to create the project, and then within that page, if we open it up, you can then take some time to add new tasks in and drop them into this system so that you're able to just kind of manage it as you want from that position. And you'll see here we can track time. So this would be a place you could just start adding tasks, and it would be really simple to do that. But I'm actually going to go back and just show you that we're doing it all from the inbox because we've already got the project. So here they are. Let's go into each one and just plan them out. We're going to link them all to the project, first of all, that we've created, so that we know they all relate to it. You can also drag it down like that. Very nice. I'm going to move that out of the way because I actually prefer to do it slightly differently. Again, this is what you should do, is adjust your views to your preferences. No template fits everyone, right? So research cat flap, that's the first thing we want to do. I want to do that as soon as possible. Start the project, I'm going to do that tomorrow. And this is a priority, book a handy person. I can get on with that as well. So let's do that tomorrow too. Now purchasing the cat flap is blocked by researching cat flaps. So that, I'm not going to give it a date necessarily, but I'm going to say it's blocked by research cat flaps. And that will actually then result in a report. So if we look here, you can see what is blocked by what in these reports. This is why these views are so helpful. You can see that these are actionable and blocking a thing, the rest are actionable. So that is the blocked by and blocking report system. Teach Pepper to use the cat flap. They're all blocking, teaching Pepper to use it, right? So you could add a new one in here, search for it. You don't have to use this, but it's a nice thing to do. That is blocking it. So now if we look at our tasks, we can see what's blocking what is actionable. Those two things are actionable. These two are blocked. Great. Is there a deadline? Well, I want Pepper to be in by the end of the project. So let's just check. I'm overdoing this, right, to show you. It doesn't have to be this complicated. So our project timeline is let's have an end time. We're going to start here and we're going to run until the end of the month, let's say. Nice. So in my inbox, again, I'm overdoing this just to show you the functions. Let's say that the deadline for this is going to be the day before the end of the project. Now, once we are happy we've sorted everything in, maybe I want to see these in the life area as well. Let's add that as into family and social because Pepper's my family. We'll drop those in. You can now add all of those to the system, go to the project inbox and add that to the system. And there you are, our inbox is clear. How do we want to process these? There's a couple of views to look at stuff. We can go to the main task and action view and see what we've planned in to get stuff done. Look, I have these to do tomorrow. Book the handy person and research cat flaps. Great. I can also see under priority that those are priority tasks. I can see what's coming up, everything else. So stuff with no to-do dates is there. Stuff with the next 7 days, things I need to do. It's really useful, I think, for this. But it also means I can do things like, I'm going to get on with researching cat flaps. I'm going to move this up and drop it into today. So this is really good. If you want to make it top of mind, you can just edit it, jump in there and edit the live area to also add top of mind. And then we'll see the things we want to see that we talked about earlier in that place. Something else to say about the tasks action view is on a request from you guys, I've added upcoming and everything else. So there are now a view of everything without due dates that you have upcoming and everything for the next 7 days. So you've kind of in that view now got today and top of mind, tomorrow and upcoming. And if you want to move things forward, read a building book, I can drop that into tomorrow. However, this can be a bit overwhelming when you're like, everything is in there. You might want to jump down to project views. Let's make the cat flap project live. We're going to begin it and we will now see all live projects are listed here. You will also be able to see them on the projects view. So again, find your workflow. You don't need to use all of these views, but they do work. There you go. We also can jump therefore into our project and go, I want to work on this project. And within this project now, we will see all of our items listed in order of actionability, and I can make something in progress. Of course, you can adjust these views as you wish. If you don't see a view that you'd like in there, remember you can add a new view, link it to a database, find the tasks database, click that, and then you can pick any of the things that I've already built. Yeah, so you can just drop something in like a weekly calendar. And we can now choose, today in Overdue, we're going to start work on the cat flap. Now this will also show, if the date goes past today, it will show it's overdue. But let's click start. And I want to show you the timesheet. This is a great place to see all the stuff that you're going to work on. I'm going to click start. And what it's going to do is show the item in progress and start tracking it. I'm really proud of this. So you put it in progress the moment you're going to do it and leave it running. Or you can leave things running for longer, but it will just track for a long time. And we can let that run. Now, the great thing about this is if we now go back home, we can also go to tasks and action view, and you'll see it in progress there. I think we'd linked it to an area. Look, we can see these here and click through to them. Click through to the area. You'll see it there as well. So you've got these views wherever you need them. And when you feel that it is completed, let's just go back to the project using these lovely reports. You'll see the navigation options. We can now press this as complete. So if I click complete on my time tracking sheet, you will see the time tracking update within the project. There we go. And we spent 1 minute on researching cat flaps. And then you'll see in projects that you can also see a full report on total time tracked for the project. This allows you, if you want to link this to a client, let's say, maybe we want to add it to a contact, Pepper, we can now track time spent against the people we work with. Pretty cool, right? And look, always you can use these to click through. So we can go and see Pepper herself and see her related projects and the time we've spent on them and so on and so forth. But more on contacts another time. You can also add simple time tracking against the project when it isn't a task by clicking this button. So if I start within the project page to track time, it creates a new working session, there it is, and it starts tracking it. And this is just a way for us to be able to just say, I'm just generally spending time on this and I want to track my time against it. So this is really super powerful. Now we have a built-in time tracker. We have a means to work within projects or areas or even goals with things like tasks and projects. And we have a main dashboard to see everything that's happening. And again, I can come back and complete that a bit later on because I can see that it's in progress. Let's now jump home. I also want to show you the report views on tasks, which you can see here. One of my favorites is completed tasks daily tracker. And this will show you the number of tasks you've done on the day. So anything that's marked as complete will drop in here. Now, one thing you can do with your tasks, you can just click things as done. So for example, if we go and say that the booking a handy person is done, it won't time it, but I can just mark it as complete. And we will now see that update to 4. So 4 things have been done today. Great. You can see the number of tasks that have different statuses. And of course, you can also see your metrics within this page on the main task management system. We should talk briefly about projects. Anything you've added to the inbox, which is back on the quick capture area, will be given this new idea template, which labels it as in the inbox. Anything that is marked as, if we just go back to our view here, anything that is marked as not started becomes a planned project. And then anything you make live will go into the live views. And if you've set projects with a timeline like this, you will see them on your timeline view. The last part of tracking projects and tasks within this system, even goals if you want to, is you can link this into Notion Calendar. And so let's jump to the homepage again and jump through into the calendars dashboard. Now, this is really a view of everything on a calendar. So you've got your project timeline there, you've got tasks viewed by their deadline date, you've also got tasks viewed by their due date. So a due date is when you're doing it, deadline is hard stop. But what's great about this is I can also, for example, with projects, add it to my calendar by clicking open in calendar. So if we click this, it will open up calendar, and there you can see the projects database is dropped in. My product business, cat flap installation and training, we can see are showing up, and then the dates will adjust as we need to. And if you want to remove any of these, you can simply go up and remove from the list, and you just won't see it in your calendar. So you can see with my system, which isn't this, I'm actually able to view my content calendar and move things around. And so the great thing about this is tasks that are listed within it. If we go back to this and add due dates of tasks to calendar, you'll see the new task list come up. Call mum this week, there's one. If I move this down and say I want to call her at 9 a.m, I can extend its time and time block tasks using the calendar. And if we then open it in Notion and jump back to it, you're able to see the time has updated for that view. So that is why there is a new calendar system within your workspace. So I think those are the big headlines of task and project management in Life OS. Just remember, overwhelm alert, use what is useful to you, play with it. But if you just do one thing, I would simply add tasks in your inbox, give it a name, and mark it as important or urgent, and consider maybe giving it a due date. And that will be enough for you to see it. If you want to go further, link it to a view you want to view it in, such as videos, content creation, areas I think are going to be really great for you. And there you go, you're ready to rock. All right, so we've covered onboarding all of your tasks and projects, your goals, your life areas, but maybe we want to spend a bit more time investing in goal setting. And that could be your next area to investigate in the template. Coming up next as well, after that, we will look, how about that? Coming up next, we will also look at the basics of tracking your life. So habit tracking, workout tracking, meal planner, that's a new one, and maybe journaling. And then finally, we'll look at how you might add information into this system. And that really is your knowledge base, notes, clippings, and then how you can sort and view that. So let's jump now onto a quick view of the goal setting guided process. Take a break, maybe it's a moment to get a tea or a coffee and come back.